So I'm trying to deal with a problem here where I want to level up my thrown weapons, but I don't have another trainer for it because the one at the starting spire only goes up to 75. I believe the designation Master Trainer is what indicates which ones are going to have double the cap. So I'm going to hire Torvis, who does two-handed weapons, thrown weapons, and parry. And they're off in the training grounds at Lethian's Crossing. So I'm making a quick trip there, just because two of my characters are leveled up and I want to get their training done, just in case they somehow level up again, because we're probably walking into a big fight. I just clicked on the map thing, didn't I? I don't think I have a choice. Well, so much for that. I'm pretty sure I just clicked on the map thing and because I'm here in the story mission, yep, I'm forced downstairs. Never mind. Well, we're down here now. Well, looks like we destroyed them with the edict and a lot of them just ran away at this point. A cadre of disfavored warriors lumbers into the courtyard, their movement slow, deliberate, and stilted as they compensate for the tremors that have gripped the valley at your command. What pact did you make with the traitor Archon Cairn to invoke such power? Sevius, now dressed in the regalia of the Iron Guard, steps forward. No matter. That's a question for the Earthshakers. They'll no doubt enjoy in terror getting the crippled, maimed husk you'll soon become. He turns to his soldiers and lifts his hand in the air, moving in rehearsed unison. The warriors snap to formation and ready their weapons. Insufficient reputation. Awaiting Sevius' signal to charge, the soldiers start chanting Graven Ash protects, and clap their weapons against the shields and challenge. Interesting. So if I had a certain reputation with with them, despite being the enemy, I could have potentially done something here. Let's see. I can threaten them with athletics, or I can scare them with the fact that I used the edict, which is totally makes sense, honestly. Fools, did you not hear me proclaim the edict? Either I cast the edict myself, or did so with the Overlord's blessing. Think that through very carefully. No. That's the talk of a delusional child. On top of your other crimes, you now blaspheme Kairos, likening yourself to his power. Do not make us laugh. Sevius turns to his soldiers, looking to see who shares in his laughter. His guffaws fall flat as he sees his warriors shuffle nervously in silence, their weapons trembling. Enough prattle. Advance. Slay this aberration of justice, and bring glory to Graven Ash. Sevius gives the signal to attack and rushes forward with a roar. Anyone running away or getting a debuff or something? By the way, what's this? Oh, the library upgrade. You can now do things and use scrolls to learn secrets. Okay, that was there for a while then. So there's the Edict of Stone. I went with the Edict of Stone just because the idea of weakening Bane is appealing to me, because fighting the Bane was kind of annoying, and if I can just take an entire category of enemies and weaken them, that seems nice. I don't know if there's going to be any actual Bane to fight. I thought that every single time we went to a tower, we were gonna have to fight through the insides of the old walls and fight Bane, but then that never came up again for the next 3 towers. So we'll see. Or next two towers. Okay, there's no debuff specific to my behavior at the moment. They're just here to fight. There's only 5 of them though, and my party is really powerful, and we have 2 friends here to help us. At least 2 friends. I'll double check again real quick. Ooh, they have combat veteran, or he has combat veteran specifically. Okay, so they're all over the place a bit. They shouldn't really stand a chance, honestly. This will be interesting to see. Let's start with some of my buffs. Do polish arms on Barrack. There we go. Will of Command. Let's get you closer to do your Surge of Glory. Whoops. There we go. Just applying the buffs that I have, basically, to make a real mess of this whole situation for them. Not quite in the position to make this one work. Let's just double attack that guy. Oh, there are 2 enemies there, actually, so it was actually a great time to do Claw. I just couldn't see them in the grayness of the screen, because I can't see crap right now. This petrifies people. The question is whether or not there's going to be more enemies or not, or if it's just this one crew. Anyway, either way, I'm engaged with somebody, so let's go ahead and get that attack going too. Let's see, and Guy is still doing Will of Command. There we go. There's one buff. Unravel Minds is a fun one to throw at these guys. There we go. Now on top of everything else, they're stunned. Throw a false pit around. That'll bounce from target to target out there. There we go. That went all over the place. That's fun. Let's try Phantom Blades. That's my new skill. Oh my god, it's just huge. Alright, can I do a line attack that hits 2 guys? I think it might hit that guy. Oh, I can hit these 2 also if I want to. Yeah, this should work. Let's make it. Oh, he's dead. Bad call. Let's hit these guys then. Now you guys stand nice and still, and boom. I think I hit both of them. Maybe not. Graze's Stone Shield hit Sevius. No, it got both of them. Yeah, a lot of multi-target attacks, and our party's nice and healthy. I'll heal myself. At the same time, yeah, Lantry's like doing a full party heal. Yep. We're in a good spot to be in right now. What are you doing? You're using Defender's Charge? Leap to the aid of an ally taunting nearby enemies. Who are you going to use it on? No, don't do that. Is this the circle taunt? Yeah, there's the one. Just taunt those guys directly. And yeah, actually, how about you go engage the casters over here? Hey, friend. Pain time. Concussive Bolt. That'll make a mess. Oh. Hi. The Forge Bound are here to fight us. I can see why. They have reason to be mad at us. Were they here the whole time, but attacking from a range that I didn't see? Whoops, if that's the case. Eh. Swipe time. Nope, still not going down yet. We're getting there, though. Yeah, my party's staying pretty healthy. Let's do the Wisps to bounce around with the heal. Might be a good time to do another bouncing false pit. Deal with how many foes we're dealing with at once here. There we go. That'll give us a bit of an advantage. He's not engaged with you right now, so how about you go engage with melee over here. And while they're down, I'll run away. Yeah, both of you guys actually need to get away. There we go. Oh, yes, perfect. Oh, I was gonna say I'd line up that hard shot, but maybe not. Maybe I can hit these guys? Yeah. Oh, they're dead. Never mind. You guys are quickly running out of characters to fight with. Look at the Iron Pigs bleed. Chortling with glee, Fifth Eye spins his spear, splattering blood in a wide arc. We've done it. They're... Stumbling over in slight tremor, he plants his spear into the ground and catches his balance. They're falling back. So much for disfavored courage. Your Edict of Stone has them terrified. We have the courtyard under our control. Leave the cleanup duty to me and my gang. Make haste to the top of the spire. No doubt you'll want a bird's eye view of the disfavored, turning tail and running in shame. Hey, we did it. And apparently that fight's all we have to do. The Edict did most of the work, and then these guys will do a little bit for us. I don't think they were particularly injured either. Whoa, an Iron Guard Greatsword, masterwork. Rending. -1 armor on your enemy when you crit. Not bad, but it's a two-handed sword, so it doesn't really fit the builds of any of my current characters. I'm sure it's valuable, though. So I'm happy for that. Should I even take a look around? I've been here before. Oh. There's stuff in these boxes, apparently. Sure, why not? There's potions and stuff. I don't know if they're newly here or if I just missed them the first time around. Oh, there's a secret.
Eyes on this?
That's just basics. The damage dates back to Kairos' initial conquest of the Tears. This is one of the few blemishes remaining. Yep. In testament to the Vendrian's Guard's reconstruction efforts. Yeah, they're wiped out. That's it. I guess we'll just head out. So I want to loot certain things. I'm not in a big hurry to go outside the courtyard. I'll check this box over here. But I think I'm just going to go back upstairs otherwise. And, enjoy our victory. Gimme. Ooh. The bronze tabor axe. One-handed. Exquisite. But, not... Doesn't have any special characteristics or anything. Just some nice armor penetration. Just another valuable item I could sell, I suppose. Alright, you guys go do you. Oh. The zeal and fervor that the disfavored brought to the battle evaporate in the face of your edict, and the ease with which you dispatch their leader. Your overwhelming display of power sends panic and terror rippling through the enemy ranks. The survivors carry with them rumors that defy belief. The Tears has another Archon, one showing the power of Kairos, the power to cast edicts. Confusion sets in across the realm amid the whispers and misinformation. One fact remains consistent. The Overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. Powerful earthquakes roll underfoot, the vibrations wringing your spire like a wet rag, threatening to send it crashing to the ground. Your stronghold slowly settles, the terrain only occasionally rocked by a solid tremor. Over the next few days, the land eventually returns to normal as your edict dissipates. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next steps from the safety of your spire. No sooner do you get started than Callio, Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit bearing an important message. Well then. I haven't seen those story loading screens for so long that I kind of forgot they existed. I keep hearing about this little spire you've been calling your own. Nodding with a smirk, Fatebinder Callio peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you've slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. Nice to see you, but how'd you get up here? Isn't it obvious? Callio shakes her head with an agitated scowl. The better question is, how did you do the most convincing impression of the Overlord Terratus has ever seen? No one's entirely sure what to make of you these days, Lovebridge. They all say you spoke an Edict of Stone. Not a proclamation of an Edict of Kairos, but your own Edict of Stone. Your own arcane tremors. You're no mere Fatebinder. Of that, we can be certain. You've proclaimed and broken the Overlord's edicts perhaps one too many times. If I had known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Terratus, the right person has inherited this gift. I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder. Proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers. It should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still find room for surprise. You're powerful in ways the gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding, and unleashed something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, it's the work of an Archon. Beast One will follow Alpha from here to the ends of Tears lands and farther still. Will Paw prowl deep into cold north, hunting armies of Kairos at Alpha's side. Together Shadowhunter and Alpha will slaughter whole of Primus' tribe. I don't have any idea how you're able to do this, but it isn't power that any scholar can wield. This is something else. You're not some ambitious hedge mage who learned it out of a book. You're more like an Archon, where it just comes naturally. Callio shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you'd be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had a touch of the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me? Let's see. I genuinely didn't know I had it in me. You didn't know if it would work, and you decided to play with the arcane equivalent of a mountain tipping over. My confidence in you swells, Fatebinder. It's only natural to have doubted yourself. The edicts have always been the magic of Kairos and Kairos alone. Anyone claiming to be able to cast an edict would be presumed crazy, and yet, a sane man watching what you just did, would see the power of the Overlord in your voice. Curious? Callio taps her chin in thought, looking at you head to toe. Suppose you've no reason to play the fool. I'll say that, however, it is you. Oh, I'll say that however it is you came into power, know that you've drawn the attention of the Overlord. So congratulations, I think? I come bearing orders direct from the Overlord. Callio clears her throat, her voice becoming somber and severe. Kairos has decreed two things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one, and only one, Archon is fit to rule the Tiers. To that end, the Archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one Archon fit to inherit the Tiers. Oh ho! Well, way to go, Kairos. So I've basically been given permission, or at least incentive, to kill the voices of Nerat, or defeat and subjugate them, or submit to them, I guess. One way or another, there are at least 4 Archons here, unless I'm forgetting one. No, there's 5 Archons here. Yeah, there's 5 Archons, if we count me. So there's me, there's Siren, who seems not particularly interested in being in control of anything. There's obviously Voices of Nerat and Engraven Ash, where one of them is going to kill the other one at some point. And then there's Tunon, who's also a Archon in the Tiers. So that's 5 Archons, one of which I don't know if Kairos counts me, and I don't know if Siren gives a shit. So that mostly comes down to Tunon, Graven Ash, and Voices of Nerat. I either have to submit to one of them or kill or defeat all of them somehow, basically. We'll see what kind of options are actually available in this thing. Have the Archons been informed of this yet? All save one. Callio flicks her hand forward, and you reach up to catch a small brooch in the style of Kairos' insignia. Kairos has decreed you are the newest Archon. Well, there we go. There goes ambiguity there. Fadebinder Callio bows with exaggerated flourish. So the other Archons now have orders to control or destroy you. And the other way around. Her face becomes a beaming smile. See? This is why I try to avoid getting Kairos' attention. Alright, so what the hell happens if I try to revisit, the voices, for example? Let's see. And to be clear, this is a command from Kairos, but not an edict? Correct. There's no edict backing this order. She smiles, a toothy grin. Such encouragement hardly seems necessary when the task is its own reward. The Overlord has merely rescinded the Kairos' peace. The Archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. Well, sure, you could say this is just them being polite, but whenever Kairos wants to do some big thing, it's pretty much always been an edict so far. So that leads to me wondering, what if he or she is trying to put on their poker face here, and what if Kairos is... What if they lost the power of their edicts? What if I've stolen it from them somehow by like, maybe I just broke too many edicts, gained too much power, and somehow ended up getting the power away from them? It could be that Kairos themselves no longer has power, or it could be that people's awareness of what I have done has somehow shaken their awareness of their own power. Like, if it shakes the public's confidence in their power and what people think is reality in this universe, what if the indecision and confusion of somebody else being able to proclaim an edict has led to the original edict creator to lose their power to do so? Kairos knows, rightly so, that enmities... I thought it was enmities. Anyway, new and old will drive the Archon to mutual destruction. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Callio shrugs with a smile. Would you have preferred another do-or-die edict? Let's see. What of the court? Have you heard what Tunon and Blade and Mark think of this? As per usual, Tunon has the emotional range of pumice, but Blade and Mark seems almost giddy. I think— oh, the Archon of Shadows. I did forget about another Archon, because they're a shadow character. That's their whole point, is to be forgotten to an extent. So that means we have 2 Archons that lead armies, one that's in a position of power. I don't know if Tunon actually has an army, but just a bunch of subjects. So 3 official big-time Archons and 3 small-time Archons, as far as direct support goes. I have a little party, Siren's in my party, and Bladen's a subject under Tunon. But Blade and Mark seemed almost giddy. I think the old Shadow is already putting names on his daggers. I was wondering if Blade and Mark would hear this order and promptly stab Tunon, but no. It would seem the Archon of Shadow is happy to serve Tunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old Shadow to crave that kind of power. She clears her throat, her voice growing somber. You'll have to deal with them too, and I fear greatly for how that will turn out. I imagine Tunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Blade and Mark too proud to accept you as his better. She nods quietly for a long moment. There is no way this ends well for some of us. Why? Why can't I just do the same thing Blade and Mark does? That's what I tried to do in the beginning, is just stick with Tunon. Is that not going to be an option? Because is it ever an option then? That seems like a weird oversight, that the only thing your character is guaranteed to be a part of at the beginning of the game is the only person they can't side with. I guess we'll see. The Voices of Nerat now has a great deal of reason to fear me. This order will complicate our alliance. Oh, I'm sure you two have a lovely little discussion ahead of you, and I think we both know he'll be aiming to convince you to submit, and eager to use you to kill the other Archons, I'll bet. Thank you for delivering the message. That would be all. First step is deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons. Callio offers a smug nod. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Note that when you come for Blade and Mark and Tunon, and I and the other Fatebinders won't interfere. Oh. So just... wow, Tunon has such a bizarre seat of power then, if his own Fatebinders are not going to defend him because they're just going to sit by and stick with the way that Kairos' will over all else and just watch the fight happen. But even though they're members of Tunon's group, even all the way to the point of showing his reputation. Wow, that's perfectly tied. Weird. A question me and the other binders have been asking. Can you do this again? Nunavut believes in you. Another, who shall remain nameless, takes the more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand so far up your ass she can puppet your mouth, and you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. She sizes you up head to toe. Me? I think you have it in you, or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. Interesting. Let's see here. So that's one of the ways I take out Graven Ash, isn't it? I need to go to... okay, so that's how the story works now. I probably can't work anymore with the Voice of Nerat, which, good riddance. But his mission, he was going to send me on a mission to go to the Blade Grave next, and now I don't have a reason to go to the Blade Grave as much from that structure, because that piece of story is gone. But now I probably want to go to the Blade Grave to take out Graven Ash, because if I get to their tower, then I can proclaim an edict that destroys his army. And that would be devastating. Although there's already an edict there, so I'd have to resolve the current edict somehow. Is that even worth it at that point? It seems like the current edict is pretty dangerous. What can I replace that's even worse than that? Let's see. Ha. That's not a bad idea. I can try to have her proclaim my own edict for the sake of curiosity, which is funny. Anyway, though, I'm certain I have it in me to cast another edict, but I'm not sure I want to play recklessly with this power. Lost fear with Ebb, gained loyalty with Ebb. Hey, that sounds remarkably wise. Ebb lets out a long sigh. I think you can and should use this power to stop your foes. But as you grow in power, your edicts might remain longer. It would be a shame to leave an arcane disaster that haunts us long after the problem is solved. Like Kairos, basically. Wow, I still have loyalty and fear of 0 with this character. It's hard to find time for all these characters just because there's not that many story missions overall, and a lot of party members join you all back to back. I pretty much just talked to her for an entire episode, set up her character, did the beginning of a mission, then switched to Rosirin. Considering the terrible damages you'll inflict if you screw up what you're doing, I can't blame you for being cautious. This isn't the only Spire that has awakened, for lack of a better word, to your presence, right? Correct, there are other Spires that I call my own. Hey, Old Walls Breach. Consider a trip to Blade Grave, or Stalwart, as it used to be called. That's where the Ocean Spire is located. As far as I know, you haven't claimed it. Neither has anyone else yet. We don't know if anyone else can, even. That could be my power as an Archon, is not necessarily edicts themselves, but just the ability to claim these towers that nobody else can claim, and maybe because of the edicts proclaimed around these locations, the towers just have that power inside them, and I can just re-release it. Especially since the towers seem to form a network. With a nod, Kalia begins to make her way to the exit. When you rule Terratus, look me up. If you're successful, I'll be in need of a new Archon to serve. I know I'm mostly sober, but just so we're clear, you did just issue an edict, right? Lantry taps his quill to his tongue, unsure of what next to write. First you cast an edict, then this full-on war of Archons. This whole chapter of the Chronicle it's reading like fiction. So Kairos has ordered all the Archons to fight it out until only the strongest remain. I think we can now safely say the Scarlet Chorus philosophy has been vindicated. A rumbling mutter stirs from under Barrick's helmet, devoid of any cogent words. Alpha birthed own words of power like human Suprema, called Kairos. Is better mystic than Broodmother kills in shadow. Oh, is better mystic than Broodmother to kills in shadow, than Stonestalker's 100 blood, than Beastwoman Archon slaughtered by Mark of Shadows. She snorts and grins savagely. Kills in Shadow knew Alpha was most powerful human in whole of Tears Lands. A curved claw taps the side of her snout. Nose was not wrong. She's turned out to be like the most loyal and like not. It's pretty much yeah. Kills in Shadow and Lantry are like just so unreservedly loyal to my character at this point. One last thing, hesitating before she leaves. Kalio taps the parchment she's been holding to her forehead with a self-depreciating scoff. All this talk of you being the second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. There is a court summons from Blade and Mark, Tunan's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Oh, Barrick leveled up. Yay! Archon, Fatebinder. The Fifth Eye dispels his words like a cloud of gnats. Whatever you call yourself, our agents have infiltrated the outskirts of Iron Hearth. Ash and his troops are as exposed as a raw nerve. Before you make your final assault, the Voices in Nerat wants to discuss that stunt you pulled, yes? People are beginning to talk, and the Archon doesn't want there to be any misunderstandings. You're to meet the Archon at Cacophony before we hurl our forces at Iron Hearth. I know your warlike ways compel you to do otherwise, but we really must insist. Perhaps later I'll pay him a visit. He will be overjoyed. You know how he loves to entertain company, even in these trying times. And Fatebinder, he pierces. His piercing, reedy tone subsides for a moment, sounding almost normal. Remember who you're going to meet. The Archon of Secrets loves nothing more than a challenge, but he also loves to win. He tilts his head to the side in confusion, then shrugs in a casual manner. The Fifth Eye waves you off with an enthusiastic flap of his fingers. I like how he seemed to be confused by his own actions. Like, why am I warning the Fatebinder against my own leader? Like, he seemed genuinely confused. Unless he's starting to feel more loyal to me than other people, which almost makes sense considering how Tunan's own people are behaving now. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so we have a lot to do now. So these two characters leveled up. And these two characters have dialogue. There's probably more people around here that have dialogue, so I'll probably just start talking. Yeah, we're probably gonna have a round table here and start talking to everybody, because I think that various characters are gonna have new updates. And we have the Blade and Mark missive, and we have multiple branching paths where I can go after Gravenatch, I can go talk to Nerat, and I can go talk to Tunon. I would be so happy if going to Tunon leads to this trial finally happening, but what if the trial's cancelled at this point? If they're just supposed to kill each other now, then does anyone even care about the trial anymore? I don't even know. This is kind of exciting. There's so many freaking directions this can go in now.